have been sailing so much lately compared to not sailing at all for like, I don't know, a month or more. We're just moving along. Leaving Belhaven, we had a peaceful morning sail up the rest of the beautiful Pungo River.
So we're entering the Pungo Alligator River Canal. Read reports that there's lots of wildlife, so we're going to be on the lookout.
This is a long canal, about 22 miles, and it connects to the Alligator River.
Huge group of dolphins. With this tannic water though, as soon as they go under, you can't really see them anymore. Here we're coming from the canal into the river.
All right, after our dolphin escort into the Alligator River, we shut the motor off, we got the sail up, and we'll get an anchorage here right on the banks of the Alligator River. From Oriental to the Outer Banks and all the way through this section is really the best area of the ICW for sailing. You can see it's a really big piece of water. Got any cell signal, Lindy?
Not really. I've been trying to get the radar.
She's checking the radar because we've had these bad storms in the evenings.
So we're coming into our anchorage.
Entering the unmarked channel into Catfish Point was pretty scary, with numerous stumps to one side and land on the other. We made it in though, and Lindy helped us pick out the perfect anchoring spot.
You know, this spot that looks big, most of it's like not deep.
Okay. It's pretty awesome back here. We just had a storm go over while we were putting the anchor down. It sprinkled a little bit. The worst of the storm was to the north of us there. So, yeah, here we are. Catfish Point. And now it's the evening and it's beautiful outside. Got some storms rolling by. Beautiful morning. Got the boat all ready to go. We sailed up the giant Alligator River for a few hours more before exiting into the Albemarle Sound. The sailing was once again awesome through the Albemarle, the second largest body of water in the area next to the Pamlico Sound. It was a downwind run for hours and hours as we crossed the Albemarle Sound, entered the Pasquotank River, and arrived to our next stop of Elizabeth City. Lindy is checking on what is apparently a free dock right over here. We made it. This was a long day. We had some good sailing. We're gonna rest, probably go check out the town, and then leave early in the morning to hit the Dismal Swamp. Pretty excited about today. I think it's going to be pretty and awesome. We had a couple hours more of motoring up the gorgeous Pasquotank River before arriving to our first lock in the Dismal Swamp, where we would enter the Dismal Swamp Canal. So we just called the lock and the guy tells us that his electricity's out. So we're in this tight little canal coming into a place we've never been before, and we're going to try to tie up to some pylons to wait and see if the electricity comes on. Here we go. Oh my gosh. So we got tied up to these giant pylons. We don't know what to do. This is pretty funny. All right, we're opening up.
So the water's coming in. We're going up 8 feet. Zach's back there tending our stern line. Now we can see over the bulkhead.
It was pretty crazy to see the water behind us where we had just been 8 feet below us now. We exited the lock, went under a drawbridge, and started our journey through the Dismal Swamp Canal. Passing mile marker 30, we felt just how close we were to the end of our journey from the Keys up the ICW. And Lindy's on horsefly patrol. They've been swarming us.
I think I've killed like 20 of them.
The Dismal Swamp State Park Welcome Center. And we've got an interesting little floating pontoon bridge here that just opened for us. Many sailors choose an alternate route to the 22-mile, around 4-hour trip through the Dismal Swamp because of how narrow it is and the possibility of running into submerged stumps or deadheads. But we found this secluded blackwater area to be beautiful and relaxing other than the horseflies, and just made sure to stay in the middle of the canal and watch out for any obstruction. Hey, we made it to Virginia!
The lock tender told us there was a tree down. We think this is it.
We made it past the one obstruction that we had been warned about in advance and continued along through the pristine forest. It's been 3.5 months since we left the Keys and started up the ICW. We got 5 more miles to go to the lock for the end of the Dismal Swamp Canal, and then 10 miles to Norfolk. Soon we made it through our final drawbridge and entered the lock that would conclude our trip across the Dismal Swamp. Okay, we're in the lock. Look, there he is, way up there. All right, we're pretty much down to the level here. What do you think, Lindy? Here we are at around mile marker 8, out of the Dismal Swamp Canal, 8 miles from the end of the Intercoastal Waterway. So this should be pretty cool. See how fast that thing raises up like an elevator. Our entry to the busy areas of Norfolk and Portsmouth would be under this giant lift bridge on a major highway. This is the same type of bridge on a much larger scale that we had to tip our mast sideways to go under on the Okeechobee Waterway.
It always looks close till you get under it.
Now under this bridge, we were entering one of the busiest shipping areas of the East Coast, with tons of commercial freighters, all manner of military craft, all the way up to aircraft carriers, as well as the tugs to help them maneuver around, tugs and barges, and the many recreational vessels like us just enjoying the area. Mile marker 5 now. 5 more miles to go. A month from our last large city, this area was way different than the secluded areas we'd been in lately. Moving piles of something. Looks kind of like gravel. Oh, he's going to drop it in that giant funnel there. There he goes. Pretty cool. Soon we passed under another large lift bridge. This gives me flashbacks of the Okeechobee Limbo. Got a big tugboat coming at us. I think I'll stay out of his way. We were in the home stretch of the ICW as we passed by every naval boat of the board game Battleship and tried to stay out of the way of the numerous tugs and barges that were passing us by. Over 1,200 miles since we left Marathon, Florida in the Keys. We're about 1 nautical mile away from the end of the Intercoastal Waterway. Should we go up and cross the zero first?
Yeah, we can check out this next one.
Okay, we're gonna go cross the zero first and then come back to the pre-dock. All right, here we are. Mile marker 0. We made it. This is the anchorage right here. If we have trouble at the free dock, we'll come over here and anchor. But this is it. This red marker here, mile marker 0. That's awesome. There it was, babe. We just made a circle around mile marker 0. What do you think?
Good stuff.
We successfully got in here, tied up to the free dock. We're on the Portsmouth side, and here's a little shot of what it looks like here. We appear to be kind of right in the middle of town. We're also at the ferry terminal, so anytime we want to go over to Norfolk, we just get on the ferry, like right there. One just left, blasted a loud horn when it left. Not sure how early in the morning that starts. Today we've got our friends on board from the Shenanfield Shenanigans here in Portsmouth, and we're going to take the ferry across and go visit Norfolk. Here comes the ferry in.
Free for the kids.
Macy, you ready to get on the ferry?
Yeah.
Hey Carly, are you ready to get on the ferry?
Yeah.
We were headed to Norfolk to check out the city and see the battleship USS Wisconsin. It's a short ferry ride across the ICW, and soon we were at Norfolk. Here we are, arriving to Norfolk, waterside. Here we're on the USS Wisconsin, which is a real battleship that they have here for people to tour. It was in World War II, the Korean War, the Persian Gulf. Now it sits here in the water at Norfolk. That's some big anchor chain there.
Yeah, look at your anchor chain and your anchor compared to this.
Oh man, Holiday's anchor chain's pretty small compared to that. Up here. Alright, let's see if Lindy makes it. It was a break. It was a wonderful day trip to Norfolk, and we had a great time with the crew from Shenanfield Shenanigans. When we woke up this morning, we noticed workers were setting up for a concert. Sunset Thursdays, free after-work concert series, 6:30 to 9. A lot of other boats came in here. A lot of people are here. There's food vendors, and there's going to be a concert tonight. It was hard to believe our ICW trip was over, but this leg had some of the best sailing, and we were also enjoying Norfolk and Portsmouth. But now it was time to move on to our next adventure, the Chesapeake.